Okay, go time. What's going on, everybody? We are live. That was my first time doing a pre-show turning some music on. We got a little chill vibe going on. That's the MRMG Ward radio station. I did some tweaking to the audio settings and did some testing before we got started here. So it should be sounding really good, I hope. If it doesn't, please let me know. But according to the tests I did prior to going live, it should be at a good level. Fingers crossed. All right. Well, my stream is choppy for some reason on my screen, but I'm glad that the audio sounds better. Oh, so today we are doing infinity letters. My computer's going super choppy right now. Why is that happening? Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on. Everything's choppy. I don't know if the stream is working very good. This has happened once before, and I don't know how to fix it. No! Oh, come on. Don't do this to me, computer. Yeah, it's super choppy. Sorry, you guys. How can we fix this issue? I don't know if it's something that fixes itself or if I'm gonna have to turn my stream off. This is the first time that this has happened while we've been live. But hopefully, okay, it looks like we're smooth again. Fingers crossed. Let me tweak some stuff here and see if we can get her smooth again. Alright, so how's that? I will wait a few moments. Yeah, I don't know why the chop happens like that. It's very, frustrating. Because it's in my computer. I don't think it has to do with my internet. It's processing power. But it looks as though things are sort of back in action a little bit. There's a delay between my words, really? Huh. Okay, we're smooth. Is there still a delay between my words? What? There's not supposed to be. Check out some other settings here. Let's turn the offset. Why did that get messed up? Okay. In theory, we should be good now. Okay. Sweet. If there is another delay I messed with, there's a audio offset thing that I can change, and I just changed that. So if that change ends up being a bad idea, let me know, and we can fix that. Sorry, a little technical difficulty right off the bat. That was annoying. I need a slightly more powerful computer. by the look of it. To get my two cameras in here. Oops. Alright, so the name of the game today is Infinity Names. I did this, it was a while ago, I don't remember exactly when now. I did a series of Infinity Names a little over a year ago, I think. And I've always liked Infinity letters and Infinity Names. I find them incredibly fun. And I want to get back into it. And I was working on a couple this week, and I figured, why not do some Infinity Names live, or at least try to do some Infinity Names live. First off, I'll show you guys one of the what I was trying to do earlier this week. I wanted to film it for a video, but it didn't turn out too great, or I just can't quite do it yet. But the plan is, everybody knows my sort of catchphrase or saying, I love just a bit of silliness, really. So I wanted to do just a bit of, and then I was go infinity instead of silliness. Just a bit of infinity. That's a complicated little connection. Sorry, forgot to move my paper there. Okay, so just a bit of infinity, really. Then we're going to go through here and dot our eyes. And then we're going to cross this one T. And then everything else, all the other T crossings and well, not I dotting, just T crossings, and our big J that starts off the whole thing should happen all in one stroke, which is the stressful part. That I couldn't seem to nail down. All right. But, yeah, so this is obviously for our whole arm movement. The plan, darn it, I just cleaned my nib, and now I want to explain the plan before I do it. The plan in my brain, and one reason why I haven't, I think, nailed it yet, is because the plan is in my brain, but the travel of the pen isn't in there yet. But the plan is, it comes down here, loops over, compound curve to go around, to scoop around the Y, to have a compound curve to cross this T, and then ideally, there'll be we'll come in here, I'll shade right there at the top of that oval, come around here, shade at the top of this oval, compound curve, we come around, compound curve, shade on the top of this oval, go around, shade on the top of this oval, compound curve, come around and down, shade on the top of this oval, around, this one doesn't cross a T, it goes above, but shade on the top of this oval, compound curve to go around, up, down to make the J and to connect with the U. What? That is banana pants crazy. But that's the plan. And it happens, it's a little easy, I mean it's easier obviously without the shades, but I really want to put those shades in there. Those end up throwing off the movement. But the biggest issue is obviously making sure I cross the T's, and that I keep the ovals nice and horizontal. But I will just try. I can almost guarantee you I'm not going to hit it, but I'm going to try it so you guys can see what I'm going for, and then we'll try some other ones. Okay, here we go. Full whole arm, because we got to travel this whole way. Start a little bit that way. All right. Here we go. Shade, shade, shade. Wow! Darn it. My nib caught the paper. I was doing okay there. I mean, wonky, but... Shade. Shade, shade. And that is sort of the idea. I have this giant yellow warning on my screen that is telling me that my stream health is poor. Which is, not fun to hear. How do I make that? Fix yourself. Hopefully it will fix itself in time. Fingers crossed. There we go. So that's the idea. Just a bit of silliness, really. Ideally, this oval, these two ovals, and these two ovals kind of would match each other. Is the plan. Yeah, and that's just getting used to. Like that. They should just like flow. But easier said than done. Ooh, it says stream is back to excellent. Alright, that's good news. Hopefully that was just a minor little hiccup just for the very beginning. But that's sort of the plan. So what I need to do is basically, as you guys know, if you've watched, I mean, you have watched me do these things before, is turn this basically into a drill. Because the issue with it being so wide, even though I can do whole arm and raise my arm as I'm going across, either I move my whole body like this to keep my arm movement feeling the same, but that's kind of weird. I could do that, I guess, but normally, like, I end up moving my forearm sort of bends this way, but that means that doing an oval like this and doing an oval over here, they're technically going at two different angles. They're both not horizontal. Like if I sit at my natural position here and I do a horizontal oval, whether whole arm or forearm, and then if I reach all the way over to here, like if I was doing whole arm, and do that same shoulder movement, like that's that natural oval. Here, I can give a good example here. I'll move, if I migrate my shoulder over to the side, that's kind of, it's really weird. I've never done that before. But that's sort of how this elbow angle makes a huge difference to the angle that you're writing. You'll see me a lot when I do certain letters. I shift this elbow in or out just like an inch or two, and that's because of that type of thing, for getting certain shades or certain elements to fit better with our natural human movement. And I want these all to be horizontal. So the only way to really do that is to, like I said, either move my whole body as I'm doing the ovals, which is definitely possible. It feels weird because I'm going here. If I was on a bench, I could slide. Or as my elbow's moving, I then compensate by making my movement be more so horizontal. So in this, if you watch the elbow cam or the face cam here, you'll see I can go doing this movement here versus doing it over here. It's a different propulsion. Propulsion is not the right word, but it's different. So I have to sort of modify as I'm moving the elbow across the page. Doing that while getting those compound curves and ovals is a little easier said than done. So I need to work on that. I'm gonna try that one more time though, just for fun. It's also a little ambitious to add those shades. Originally I was gonna do compound curve shades, but I'm not good enough at those at this point to throw those in at speed. Alright, so we start off with our cutoff U. The other issue with filming this for an Instagram video is, unlike now or during a regular writing session, I move the paper, so I'm in my comfort zone. When I shoot videos, I don't like the paper to have to move, so I move myself or try to reach, which is bad practice, really, for penmanship, but it does make for better videos. So it just kind of increases the challenge to do the whole thing without moving it at all. What's going on, Fozzie? Welcome. Alright. Dot these I's. Cross this one T. And then we're good for it. And if I was smart, I would have remembered. If we notice up here, and I forgot this the first time too, there's a shade coming here. So I should not have shaded the bottom of the second F. Oh, don't melt, Fozzie. No writing then if it's too sticky hot to write. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's just see what happens. Breathe. That one, flowy-wise, is much better. I got a little bit of an air oval in this on this side because my elbow was bent in. I forgot to shade this first little shade, but other than that, I mean, we got some wonky shapes going on, but other than that, not too bad. I'm not mad at it. You don't shade the second F. Technically, I mean, normally in regular writing, I shade every F, but in this instance, because my flourish, just as an example of what infinity would look like, because my flourish is going through there, so then when this shaded oval comes underneath, it's not crossing a shade with a shade. So if I were to do in this instance, I got excited there and I forgot to shade, but imagine I shaded here. Sorry, I got silly and I made a horrible example. But then, as we have here, we have a shade crossing through another shade, and I wouldn't have that if I remembered to not shade that F. So it's one of those things, after you do this design once, you look back at it and think, oh yeah, I would be either smart to not shade this oval or not shade that F. And I would rather not shade the F in this instance. So it's one of those things. You're very welcome. Cool. Yes, that got a little goofy in that area, but that's okay. So that's the plan for like infinity letters. There was also I was playing with just the word infinity. It's tough. Infinities, because it has to start with an N, it starts with an overturn into a down curve or into a downstroke. The U is relatively easy to connect because it just goes up from an undercurve into the U. But for an N, you start on the second, obviously. Now, how did I do this? Where can I find my little cheat sheet piece of paper that I had around here? These were my doodles while I was watching TV. These are infinity doodles, experimenting. What did I do? Right, okay. The biggest issue I have with this one, other than it's really hard, is making the I way too close to this N, so I don't have space for the first overturn and downstroke of the N. That's the idea of, I mean, that's really hard to get that. It's too much space and the I is really weird. But that's the idea also that I had behind that one. What's going on, Marilyn? Welcome. Infinity doodles. Yeah, I do a lot of infinity doodles. I mean, most of these designs, that's how they start. If you'll see here, like the very first one, just a bit of infinity really. Where's the, that's how it started. Me just drawing it super slow. I wasn't doing it. I don't even think I was just using a ballpoint pen. And I just drew it. And then experimenting with options. Doesn't have to be clean. Playing with different ideas. This one was much different than the one that we ended up doing, which is this one here. Coming around, the ovals ended up being sort of in different, part of it is the same, but they weren't as condensed, those ovals. But it just gets the idea across. Like there's a really simple mic. If I would start with the I, do the K, the E, and then when you come around, this little oval I had a lot of trouble making, or I haven't done it yet, or I would have posted it, getting that little oval nice and clean to come down to a shade. An M that Business Penman and Mataraz used quite a bit with the shade right here on that curved downstroke. But yeah, that's basically how I create infinity letters. So I figured tonight I would just try to create some and see if we can't come up with something cool. But so then the question is, what name or word should we do first? Doesn't have to be a name, it could be a word. And I will say, none of the names or words we do tonight might turn out good at all. It's primarily going to be, I'm just going to sort of talk through the process of toying around with ideas. Too busy. Awesome. What's going on, legend? Welcome to the live. Pizzy Pizza. Okay, everybody's on board with Pizzy Pizza. Sweet. Cool. So, let's do it. Now, normally I would do this on white paper just with a ballpoint pen because it's easier to sort of sketch around with a ballpoint pen, but since we're on black paper, I may as well. It looks better on video. So I'll just do this with my nib. Hopefully I don't get any snaps. But if we do Pizzy, so I'm just going to give a really standard P, and we can put a different one in there later if we want. Oh gosh. 2 words. I just realized Pizzy Pizza is 2 words, so I have to connect the whole thing. Talk about starting with a bit of a challenge. In that case, I'm going to change the style of P that I'm doing, because this one ends, which is already a lift. It's basically impossible to do an infinity letter with any letter that has a capital stem that doesn't continue. So we could either bring this around into something else, or use the capital stem that has the shade like so. We'll pretend we're going to use that one today. Oh, and you're actually making me do the 3 descenders. Darn you. But luckily this can just come straight up there. Doesn't have to be fancy at all. I'll have the shade right there. Oh, wait. This is a bit of a brain teaser to do all of this in one, because then we have to come off of this unless okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna write Izzy and Itza are gonna happen first. It's gonna go Izzy, Itza, PP. I think. In theory. Yeah. Fozzie's not messing around. She's like, I'm not writing today, so work. Dance, monkey. Okay. So in theory, also you'll notice I'm gonna abandon a little bit writing grip. I'm gonna go with regular like pen doodle sketch grip. It feels really weird holding an oblique holder this way lately because I haven't done it in a long time. But if we have our I, Z, Z, not worrying about form at all, Y, if this comes around, goes a compound curve into an I to give me a Z, and an A. Okay, oh, I didn't think about getting, I have to get from this A to that P. Goodness. Can I do that? Here's where we just spitball with ideas and see what happens. Ooh, we can go here. We can follow this line parallel maybe. To do a compound curve. To then follow, now we're following this line parallel. This is the hardest design in the world. I mean, that's not the cleanest design ever. But that gets us there, I guess. I'm actually gonna make this so we fill up a little bit of that space there. That looks better. I don't know if I like this yet, but I don't know any other way to do that. And this is the point where you guys at your screen could be yelling, Mike, try this, try that. Sorry if my brain's not thinking of the ideas you're thinking. Ideally, I'm gonna drop this compound curve to this smaller so it's lower. So we want that one to go under this part of the P. That will make that look better. We have to remember to make this P a little bit shorter so that this part doesn't look crazy weird. But that's, I mean, that's an idea. That's a design. Sure. This will be obviously more round, not quite as ovoid. Okay. There you have it. World's hardest infinity names back to back. Courtesy of Fozzie. Okay, well, let's try it. Now this is, like I said, I'm not going to work on these until they're clean today. We're basically just playing around until we get a cool idea, and then it'll get shelved, and we'll try another word. Because, I mean, I don't have time to perfect. Wait, that's not an infinity word, because I started with the I. I have to finish here. Oh, no. Interesting. That's not an infinity word because this whole thing doesn't end there. It ends here. So how the heck? I mean, the lazy thing to do would be to just bring this around. Then everything's just gonna get too messy. We could do that though. That's the lazy man's way out. No, it's not just Fozzie doing it to me. This is honestly I do this to myself all the time. as well. It's fun to think of crazy challenges. The worst part is sometimes there's really good, like, solutions just staring me right in the face, and I'm not seeing them. Would it be smarter to do this P and then that P? Can we do that? Okay, so revision number 2. We have one that if I make this P go all the way around, I can connect it to that I, and we can get an infinity. So that's a finished concept that works in theory. We could also Busy Itza. Now, what did I say? I can come around here. Unfortunately, that looks like an R, which is not opportune, or not a good thing. Wait, then what I did over here. No, we don't want that. We're gonna go with the first one. Because the issue with doing the second P first, well, I have to get this abrupt compound curve into that P. I mean, it could also, this could loop low. I don't like, that's that P that, I'm not a huge fan of doing that style with the shade on the right hand side. I'm gonna try the first one. That's a tough one. A worthy challenge. Okay. So far, so good. Obviously, because we haven't done any of the hard parts yet. Okay. Dot the I's. So we're ready to do this whole bit of madness in one stroke. Technically, we could stop on the tops of the P's because there are hard stops there. So we could take breaks. How did I get to, what did I do? Oh, I did that first P, right, I went all the way over there. Let's just see what happens. I mean, that works. And as a first attempt without any real practice, I'm not actually mad at how it looks at all, really. One thing I would have done, because I forgot that I did this here, this should have a little, which totally ties that in. So that's there. Not mad at it. It works. We're going to try one more time and then we'll do another word. Jeez, that is hard. Okay. Extra cheese. Where do I want that to cross through? We could thread the Z, I guess. There, didn't quite hit my connection point, but that design works. That is a very difficult, loopy, free infinity name. Pizzy Pizza. Alright, what do we got next? It works. Like I said, I'm not mad at it. It could be better, obviously. Everything could always be better. Even in, design-wise, too, we could play with it. Snap. I'm just gonna do one, Fozzie. We're not gonna do snap, snap. I'm just gonna do snap. No more of this two-word challenge making my life super difficult. Oh, S is also another really difficult word or letter to infinity off of. Because if we have a... what kind of S? If we have a regular S... Oh, I can't use that style of the P because that lifts. I gotta use this one. And then what is that gonna go? Okay, that gets me into, it's not the most exciting, but it gets me into the start of the S. Now I have to get from the ending of the S into the N. Just for fun, we're gonna spice up that S a little bit with one of those. Those are going back to the Elvish names or Elvish words again today. Okay, how can I have to change direction coming out of this S. This can just, the easy way would just be to drop that, but I don't like that weird shape that gives. So instead, oops, let this come around. I would rather this could slice through there. Potential issue with that thing. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the suggestions, you guys. Okay, with a standard, I'm gonna go back to a standard S. Where did I go? Right. Oh, that has to go Nope, that doesn't feel good. I have to somehow get myself down here, traveling in like this direction. Ooh. You can get creative with it, potentially. I mean, everything we're going to be doing today is getting creative with it. That works. I don't know that it's the most aesthetically pleasing. Maybe it is. Maybe it does look like a giant D. That's no good. And I can't not make that a hard turn. Like, I can't come around. Because you know my rule about only one compound at a time. I can't go over, under, over, around. That doesn't work. Or unless... Can I just bring that wider and bring that right away? Can you do an S like that? That works, right? That's more appealing, I think. Well, this is like Twister on drugs. Okay. This is like doing a Twister and then do it behind your back. Okay, I like that. For the record, I am horrible at doing that variation of the P with movement writing. Business writing, ornamental penmanship, doesn't matter. Not controlled when I add that shade into the P. It's a challenge for me. Yeah, I think that last one flows a lot nicer than the previous. Let's see if we can get the spacing right here. I forgot what I was doing. Darn it. I got distracted. The distraction came from when I did here and came up to here. As I was coming down into the compound curve, my brain went, oh, now you could totally go back into one of these. And then everything after that went out the window because my brain was an ADHD little kid running around not paying attention to what he's supposed to be doing. But I'm going to add that different S. I know not everybody likes that S, but I do. Boom! Snap! Oh, snap. Yo, I might use a variation of this for the t-shirt I'm designing right now. I'm in the middle of making or I've started. I can't say I'm in the middle because then I wouldn't be using this design. I'm starting to design the Snaps Happen t-shirt. or design. But I really like that. That looks really cool. Woot! Mic drop. I need to purchase a, tea. I forgot I had tea. I need to purchase a mic that I can just drop all the time. I didn't expect to hit that. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is pretty much right there. It is perfect enough that I would have posted it if that was being recorded in high quality. Right on. For not much practice or really any warming up, I'm pretty happy with that. That's cool. And it's an infinity word. That's the coolest thing about infinity words. There's no, it just all goes. What I really like about, I mean, it's fun to I like putting my brain in the mindset of like somebody like us who stumbles across the old scrapbooks from like the early 1900s and late 1800s. And we look at them and some of the signatures, we think, where did they start? Well, they could have started here, they could have started here. We all have our theories. Most of the time, I think most of us are correct in where we're guessing, but we could be completely wrong. Like if this design was in one of those books, some of the penmen could have been like, I'm pretty sure he started over here on this part of the S. I mean, that wouldn't really make any sense. I don't know why a penman would think that. But it's neat to think like, if people looked at this, if I did it perfectly, what's in my brain, and people looked at it in 100 years, would they be able to tell how I did it? This one's pretty easy. I mean, infinity letters is pretty much a no-brainer that you start with the first lowercase letter. That one makes the most sense. All right, snap. I like that. Save the Wait, I gotta catch up on chat here. Flow, low, low. Nice. We should maybe save that one for the glow if we make it there. I don't know if we'll make it there. We're a long ways away. We'll see how I feel. How we feel. How the energy's going. All right, let's do... I'm going to do Legend next. And then I think I'm going to go back and maybe do those Elvish names. I did the Elvish names. I wrote those last week, right? So if something else comes in, I might do the other ones. I did do the Elvish names. What did we do last week? I was just writing last week for no real guidelines or no plan last week. Not that I really have a plan today either. Uh-oh. That's okay. Missing the glow's alright. I might also be sleeping during glow time. Like I was last week. I wasn't sleeping. I just wasn't live. Alright, Legend. So we'll just, as a placeholder, write in here a standard L. Legend. Now how? I mean, same type of idea. I gotta get into that same sort of stroke as the S. Let's see if I can do it in a... We can go like the CC Canaan route. See, in this one I have to get traveling, ideally, in this direction. Coming around here into that A. Which ruined what I wanted to do. I wanted to come around here, compound curve, and go down and follow this way, but that doesn't work. Oh. No, that's the wrong direction. We could do so. Full disclosure, this might look ridiculous because I'm putting the same stroke in twice in two different places, and it might look, like I said, ridiculous. Or maybe it'll look awesome. Who knows? We'll be optimistic. All right, start with Edgend. We have to connect right in there. What do we got going on here? Let's just see what happens. I don't love it, but I'm not super mad at it. I didn't do a very good job of staying on the baseline there. The L's pretty wonky. Ideally, this oval and this oval were supposed to be the same size. And then in my brain, this oval was supposed to go around this loop. But I'm also not mad at it going through, but it gives for a wonky shape. Hello, David Grimes. Welcome to Late Night Live. Yeah, I mean the heart, like this thing was very much like Kanan did that in his signatures a lot. So I like that coming out of the D, and it keeps the ending relatively simple. Ideally, that would go a little bit longer. Come into this one. This could also be, we could go with one of those, we could fancify the L a little bit. Come here. Sort of like that. If I can keep that all horizontal, it works. All right, let's see how that works. We're gonna try. We can clean it up a little bit. It's an idea, anyways, which is what we're all about, especially today. Okay, we got Edgend starting with. All right, now it's go time. I gotta get this all the way on top of the G. Ooh, and then if I play my cards right, it's coming here. We'll get here. We match this parallel. Yeah, that's a good. Some potential. That's the idea. I didn't keep this last oval. I let it droop down a little bit. If this would have been up here a little more, it would have been nicer, and this is drooping down that way. But I think that looks cool. I think it would look also really cool written a lot smaller. I'm writing it really big. We can trade. I got tons of scribbles, specimens, writing. I need to start doing that because I've started to fill a scrapbook with my own stuff, but I don't have many other penman's examples or specimens or things because I don't send stuff to people for no good reason, so people don't send stuff to me. But we can. I will have, as of next week, I will have my new mailing address, which I can give people, and we can start doing an exchange. On my Discord, I've been starting to put together a like an envelope exchange, but it's like a specimen / practice scrap exchange. I don't want to. I get reluctant calling it a specimen exchange because I don't want everybody to stress out about making this stuff perfect. It's just about writing how you write and sharing it with people in real non-digital form. So that's something that's going to be coming in the Discord soon. If you want to jump in on that, actually, you should join the Discord, Mr. David Grimes, because we have an Engrosser script thread, and I don't know what I'm talking about in there. I don't post very well. Nobody posts very much in the Engrosser script one yet. There's been a little bit of activity in business penmanship lately because of Perfect Biscuits challenge. I don't know if I would say it's where the party happens. The Discord has not been very hopping lately. It's been a little quiet in there. I gotta get a little more activity on the regular, but it'll grow, I think. Okay, what are we doing here? We're trying to write this smaller a little bit. I missed the connection, but I'm not mad at that little legend. Ideally, what would be cool is just tap in here if the way these would be kind of nested. If this oval was like this, and then this oval was following parallel to that dotted line through here. That would have been, I feel like I would dub that the ideal. Then the only other thing that I would potentially change if I hit all of that, because there's a little bit of loopy action going on here, this could always end up being, we could do a spiral into that first. Into there. All right, I'm gonna try that one more time with a spiral, and then we'll do the next. Still catching up. Yeah, I mean, the Discord is a chat, so it's, I mean, you don't have to scroll back and to see everything because it's ongoing. And when we get in little conversations, they go off on tangents and not always in the room they belong in, but that's okay. Whatever gets people writing. It's fun to be a wallflower. I'm not allowed to be a wallflower there. If I was a wallflower there, nobody would be talking. Ooh, too big. That's the idea. Wonky ovals, but you get the idea. That'd be a cool design. I feel like I would also really want to have a tiny little loop on that one, just for fun. I lost my hairline here, unfortunately. Ovals are all over the place, but that's okay. All right, there's Legend for our new friend viewer of the live today. What are we writing next? What's our next word? What do you guys think? Was there other suggestions that came in when I wasn't paying attention? That's always a possibility. Because I'm not the best at paying attention. Valor, okay. Another not easy word to or letter to play off of. Ha, you're very welcome. Not easy word to play off of with the V ending up this way. I have to flourish off of the V, which is doable, but always kind of looks, it always looks non-traditional anytime I flourish off of letters like the V or continuing on with a P, which is, I mean, I obviously have no issue with being non-traditional because a lot of the stuff I do is not very traditional, but okay, Valor. Let's just see here. If we have a standard V, Ooh, not too shabby. Might have to change nibs here in a sec. Ooh, now we have options. We can also choose opt out of using like the ending R, or we can use different R's here. And also keep in mind that the format that I've been sort of using for my Infinity names or words doesn't have to be always the same. Like I start with the first lowercase letter, finish into the capital, which then goes into the first letter. It doesn't have to be that way at all. I could split it in the middle. I could do, yeah, you could start anywhere. Back in the day, I used to do them starting with the ending flourish, taking the ending flourish into the capital, into the first letter, and then I would write the lowercase letters. But people told me that that makes for not nearly as exciting of a video because it doesn't finish with a bang. It finishes with the lowercase letters. So that's why I started writing them this way. But Infinity letters, when made not for show, just for on specimens and stuff, can be written anyway. Technically. Okay. I mean, getting from this V, I mean, the easy way out is just going all the way around into... Oh, but that's weird. It'd be better if this was coming maybe this way from a compound curve. So we don't really want to do that. There's that potential. We don't even need that extra loop there, but we can add it into a compound curve that goes into the A. We'll go with that for now and see what we get. Wait, no, it has to... I have to write the capital letter first. Whoops, I just made it Infinity Aller. Forget about the V. Well, I guess... What did I... No, I just totally forgot about the R. Oh, wake up, Mike. I'm dreaming over here. Okay, I have to go R into the V. Right. We can still use this ending of the A, so that's good. Now we just need to get the R into the V. I mean, the easiest way is to give one of those. Just a compound curve that goes straight through. It's sort of my like go-to when things get weird, is you just bring one super thin hairline compound curve all the way up through the entire design to there. Which totally could work. Just a matter of if it's gonna look good or not is the question. I don't really like these two little loops on that side though. I think what I might prefer is to come around here, get around in there. I like that better because then we can bisect this little oval to come around. That's kind of cool. Maybe. There's a lot of scribbles here. So many scribbles. But that's how the designing, this style of designing process works. Sort of trial by fire. Do a bunch of scribbles and hope it works. Alright, let's see here. Ugh, ugly A, but that's alright. Not worried about form. Now, the V doesn't have any hard points, so unlike with the L, with that L, and the P's that we did earlier, there's no place to stop. So I can't stop. This last stroke has to happen fast and from the beginning all the way to the end. Probably he's like, you're stupid, Mike, do this. No, do this. Okay. Oh my goodness. I gotta come off of that V. Keep it below the baseline. All right, it's a lot to remember. That's the idea. All the things are there. I don't like where all the connections are, but... So now we look back at what we can fix. So I don't like how low this dropped. We want to cut that a little bit higher. Maybe even go through the O. There's a lot going right. That little connection was right inside that shade, which is no good. If I bring this lower, then this can follow parallel. Not a huge fan of this really long extended compound curve, but I feel like it's sort of a potentially necessary evil. You're very correct. This does definitely look like that we have a Y there, which is crummy. It's not good. I mean, luckily we won't have a connecting line, but it definitely looks like we do. So that's something that... How can I address that? I mean, to not have that, I just can't come into this compound curve. I can't do the A or connect to the A this way. This compound curve could come around here and connect on an oval, but I don't think I want to connect to the A like with an oval like that. I think I want it to come with a compound curve. I'll just try to give myself a little bit more space between the A and the V. And in theory, we're going to hope that that spaces it out enough. I gotta go. I'm running low on bleed-proof white. I gotta go to the art store and buy myself some new bleed-proof white paste to add to my jar here. Okay, let's try this again. Wow, I did those really big. Whoops. Okay, what did I say? Keep that smaller. Why did I stop? Shouldn't have stopped. That doesn't look as much like a Y. I mean, that's an ugly V. I have to try again. Things got a little out of hand there. Okay, let's go and thread this L right quick with, oops, didn't mean to touch the page there. That's not gonna do. The design is there. I'm just doing a horrible job of doing it. I'm gonna try another idea. I don't like that way of getting into the V. That's better, I think. Obviously, I didn't hit all the connections where I wanted them to go, and I lost my hairline right here. But, and my V is not very pretty. But I like that. it could still be read as Yaller from from afar. You, sir, are a man of Yaller. But we're gonna leave that one there for now. Valor. What is going on with this exclamation point and crazy emoji question mark? There's a neat documentary about the exclamation mark, actually. I don't know if it's on Netflix anymore, but it was really cool. It was just all about the exclamation mark, like when it was when it started getting used and when it gained popularity because of like the admin era and stuff like that, and like how unnecessary it is and how some people hate it and some people love it, and it's overuse, and it's neat. I can't remember what it's called, but there's a documentary about the exclamation point that is quite fascinating. Ooh, I like this song. Okay, what else? Somebody else suggested. Let me just scroll up here for a moment. Somebody suggested Ridiculous. Nice. Let's do Ridiculous. Riddiqlus. Get some magic spells up in here. What is the name of the documentary? I don't know. Let's have somebody Google that while we're writing here and post it to everybody else. I can't remember the name. I went through a phase for a while on Netflix, like a number of years ago. There was a bunch of really good, super nerdy documentaries on Netflix, like Helvetica, which is like the famous one. It's the famous font documentary. But then I just was in a collection mood of watching every documentary about typefaces and lettering and design, and there's a lot of really cool ones, and I stumbled across that one. Explained! 2018. Well done. Thank you, David Grimes, the Googler. It's a good one. I mean, if you're a nerd about things like, if you wake up in a cold sweat in the middle of the night thinking, why do we use the exclamation point? Then you should watch Explained. Well, can't speak. Okay, Ridiculous. What did I say? Riddiqlus, right? Oh, where'd it go? I've gone blind. Riddiqlus. Yeah, okay, cool. Or 2 Ds, which means I have to use ending Ds for those. Or get fancy. We'll see. So we'll just start with, I gotta use an R with a stem that continues. And then we'll have I. We'll just pretend that I use loopy ones for now. LUS, not really worried about form at all right now. This should be relatively simple. Huh. Except I gotta go from undercurve of the R. I mean, this could technically keep going into the I. I would simplify my R a little bit. Bring this higher as well. I think. So we're threading that little loop. Now I have to get into the start of the R, which is here, but it can really start anywhere because we have that hard stop. So we just need a fun way to fill this space. We can sort of the go-to fill space flourish is one like the one we did at the very beginning for just a bit of infinity, really. Oh, thanks for coming and hanging out for a bit, David. Have a splendid evening, and see you around. All right, what do we got here? Hmm. I'm wary of coming down on this angle here because I have two ascended strokes right there. So there's a high risk of me hitting one of them and ruining the look of the two little D's there. I'm trying to see if I can stay down here. I mean, that works. I don't like this tiny little oval that I would have down there, though. But it might be unavoidable. Let's try it. Oh, bottom of the page. All right. Start with the eye. We could make these shades as well, which I think I'm gonna do. Ooh, not very good lowercase letters today, but that's all right. I'm glad. I mean, that's sort of the point. It's not like I never want these to feel like a serious writing session or like work or like a class. Top of the morning to you, Ashok. I just want it to be chill. Like this is what they were when I started them on Instagram, when I started just going live when I was hanging out. And it's vibey. It'd be cool if they grew a little bigger so there was a few more people chatting. I don't need a ton of people in here because then I can't keep up with the chat at all. But a little bit more will be cool. But only so many people want to sit and watch me write and talk about random things for hours. Okay. Oh no. I totally don't know where I'm going here. There we go. Well, that kind of worked. I need a new sheet of paper. I messed that one up a lot though, but. Aw, snap. That could be another shirt. Snaps happen, and aw, snap. Maybe 2 snap shirts. I like it. Is this paper dried? Yep. Reuse. The extra time you took to hit the shift to capitalize, or the caps lock, should beat you to it. Okay, I totally got lost where I was, and now I don't have my. Let me get my sheet of paper here to use as reference so I don't get lost again. Okay, so I need to make. That has to be really tall so that this can fit underneath it. Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. Whether we can remember to do it on the fly is the question. No snaps. I got a couple air. My R. I went to extend that R really tall, and I went way too high. I got a little. My R. That's potentially the worst, stretched out, weirdest, not worst, weirdest shaped R I feel like I've ever done. But the strokes and the way everything sort of fit together worked. What's cooking today, Ashok? Today we're doing infinity words or infinity names. We're just sort of they're giving me words or names, and I'm trying to map out how to write them in an infinity way. We started with the first name that people gave was Pizzy Pizza, which was incredibly difficult. And then we did Legend, and then we did Valor, and now we're trying to do Ridiculous. And I like the design, I think, of Ridiculous. I just can't figure out where to make this R, or how to not make the R be like crazy huge. This should be here. How could I have fixed that? That shouldn't have been as low. That's way too tall. Maybe we have to go there. That would probably look better. But then keep this up high. That's going to be the thing to remember. Keeping that high even though the R isn't super tall. Eggs. Okay. Here we go. Try this one more time. We'll move on to another one. Oh, this song is intense sounding. Oh, whoops. I can't do that. Well, whatever. It's too late now. I can't really do that style of K if I'm going to do infinity. But oh well. Doesn't really matter. Okay. I could do eggs. We'll do eggs next. Give myself a little more space between the R and the I as well. Okay, so far, so good. Now if we can just space everything else nicely, we'll be golden. It's the idea. I didn't hit it. There's a space in there, but I like that. Losing my hairlines every once in a while. What are you guys? The whole chat now is just all about eggs. Eggsy. When that movie came out, I had a lot of people asking me if I was in Kingsman, because apparently that guy, some people think I look like that guy. I totally don't. His jawline's way cooler than mine. Tea. I'm gonna take a little break here for a moment and drink some tea. Yo, check this out. Ugh. Ugh. Look at that. This is huge. Look at it. It's bigger than my head. That's... Here, I could do it down here. That's McCaffrey's ink. The most ink ever. I just got that in the mail yesterday. I will never run out of ink again. It's not actually just for me. Now that I'm in Canada, there's nobody in Canada that sells McCaffrey's. And I'm going to start having students and stuff here once I can have students again. And I want my students to be able to write with other, like, Iron Gall inks. So with McCaffrey's, because that's what I use for Iron Gall most of the time. So I acquired some, and it'll be bottled into the regular, like, McCaffrey-sized jars, but it's easier to ship in giant jugs or in big jugs like that. So I currently have the most McCaffrey's ink ever. Yeah, don't worry, Ashok. They all automatically get saved. I don't really have to do anything. When I exit the live, they're saved. Because they're long, they usually take sometimes up to a day to process so they can get, like, fully high quality, but they're always saved. You have that... Oh, is that how you guys get... Wait, you haven't opened it? Oh, wait. See, the thing is, when you get an ink jar that big, or an ink bottle that big, you have to, like, when you open it, you have to decant it into all smaller bottles. You can't just, like, pour a little bit out of the big bottle, because then what happens is when you close the big bottle, there's a lot of air in there with the ink. And you want to have, ideally, you want your ink stored with as little air with it as possible. So you always keep your inks in full jars, basically, is sort of the best game plan. I know that's technically impossible, but what I used to do, obviously before I got this big one, for years, I would get the McCaffrey's, the 4-ounce jars, and they never went bad or never molded on me ever in the 4-ounce jars. And I would use the 4-ounce jar to top up my other jar, or with water and all that kind of stuff. But I would always keep my jar, like these, all of my inks are in these same jars. I buy in bulk the McCaffrey's jars, not from McCaffrey's, but just to have, because I decant all of my inks into those jars. But if you fill them in there, then you always want to be adding, like, more ink to the mix or more water to the mix so that it's always full. And you can't leave a big jug like that with a whole, like, you can't decant half of it, because then there's just too much air in there that's going to ruin the rest of the ink. So you always want to, I mean, in an ideal world, if I had a vacuum chamber, that would be perfect, because I would store all of my inks in vacuum form. Oh, that's a good idea. I don't own a vacuum chamber, but I wonder if I can build one. I have a vacuum. This might be a DIY once I finish my move. Maybe I'll try to find some way that I can use my vacuum to make a DIY vacuum chamber to suck all the air out of my ink jars. That'd be neat. It's probably way overkill and unnecessary. I always tell people, if your ink goes bad, it means you're not using it enough. Nitrogen refill? I don't know. I mean, that would be the perfect, like, inkwell, though. Would be when you close it and you go, tsh, it sucks all the excess air out of the ink or out of the little jar. Like, if I had these jars and I just put it in you couldn't put it in a chamber. It'd have to be a special jar that allowed for the air to get sucked out of it. But yeah, I mean, just like a bag of chips, that's how, like, coffee, I mean, anything that goes bad that's stored in, like, a tin gets all the air sucked out before it gets packaged and whatnot. So that would be perfect. Patent it. The airless ink jar would be the name. Gosh, I don't have time or energy to design something like that for real. I would love to, but it goes on the list of the other 8 billion things that I want to design and create. That I'm really excited once I'm done moving that I can dive into the so many projects that have been on my to-do list, and not projects like carving a bowler head and things like that. Those are my little projects. I have big projects that I really want to get done, but I've been reluctant to do them until I'm a little more situated. I seem situated here, but I never felt like rooted and planted sort of in this place. And things have been kind of weird because of the limbo quarantine and everything. But the plan is to, once I get moved, to really start going forward on a lot of these sort of big projects that I want to get started. Some in the penmanship world, some not in the penmanship world. But that is the goal. Once I move in, what is it, 35th? I move on the 31st. Today's the 25th. 5 more days. As you can see, the shelves are all almost completely empty. I literally just put those there so that it wouldn't be completely empty. And the Lego man, because he's always at my desk. I'm moving just like 5-minute drive away, just to another apartment in this neighborhood. Something that I can set up a little bit more to my liking. It's a little bit smaller. I'm downsizing a little bit. I have to get rid of a bunch of stuff, but that's okay. I need to do that anyways, because I am a bit of a hoarder. For anybody who didn't know. I feel like it's good hoarding, though. Yeah, I said 35th, sorry. I was hoping nobody would catch that. I definitely heard myself say it, and just my internal monologue went, oh, just keep going, nobody will notice. Yeah, everybody noticed. Okay, what am I writing now? We did Ridiculous. I'm happy with how it turned out. All my ovals. This one could definitely be smaller, so that it cuts through more here instead of quite so high, but I'm happy with it. Oh yeah, eggs, right. I forgot about eggs. Fabulous. Good yeah, it is good hoarding. I have conversations with some friends of mine about good hoarding and bad hoarding all the time. Mine's good hoarding because I use my hoard all the time. That's why I do too many things. So it's not like just hoarding and sitting. I use the things that I hoard quite often. Okay, here we go. Eggs. Back on track. Start with just a standard E. Short word. Okay, we gotta go from here into that. We could use that Kanan thing again, which is easy enough. Can we do anything fancier than that? Oh, that wouldn't look good. That's too weird. For me, the difference between good and bad hoarding, if you make use of the things you hoard, like I don't have emotional attachment to basically anything I own. So if I needed to get rid of it, it could all go away. There's a few things like some of the old books and some of the antiques that I really like. So those are more of an attachment, but those I purchased because I like the way they look on a shelf or something like that. But most of my things, I'm not holding on to them because I can't get rid of them. It has nothing to do with that. It's because I know I will use them. And I know every hoarder says that, but I legitimately do so many ridiculous things that I use all of my ridiculous stuff all the time. Like I'll have to dig through boxes and dig up things I haven't used in a year, but I know like within the next year I'm going to use this and I don't want to buy another one, so I'm going to keep it. So nothing gets stale, it just gets used. You are a plant hoarder, but those plants don't take up a ton of space and they give you joy and they create oxygen, so that's a good hoarding. I will definitely, when I get in my new place, I'm going to be a plant hoarder. Oh, 10:35. Cue the loud vehicle. No, I'm gonna have a lot of plants in my new spot. I'm for sure that's gonna be a thing. Oh, this is a weird one because we're coming around here in a direct oval, and now I have to be going in a indirect oval up this way. The cheating way, which I'm not going to do, but the easiest one would be to do a hard stop there. But I'm not going to do that. And I don't want to do another one of these, because that gives me, then I have this compound curve that goes down and up, and then has to compound again to get into the over curve, so that doesn't work. That could be cool. Whoops, I wasn't supposed to do that entry stroke. Wait, what was I gonna do? Didn't work. That idea definitely didn't work. Guess I could drop this below the baseline. No, because then I'm still not going the right direction. Unless this curves around. Oh, dangerous. With those two ascenders right there. To curve up. No, I wouldn't like that little oval in there. How can I get into this A? Or into this G? I guess I could get into it with an undercurve as well. Not necessarily has to be an overcurve. Huh. Books are never hoarding, I don't think. I mean, unless they're falling on you and you're gonna not be found because you got buried by your books. As long as they're good books, you can have all the books you want. That's one thing for me. Like, I'm moving into a smaller place, so it's almost a good thing. I have to, like, it's forced downsizing. I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of stuff just because I don't have space. So I'm going through a lot of things, deciding like what's gonna stay, or what kind of creative storage solution I can come up with for the new place. We'll see. This new place might be a complete mistake. But we'll see. Okay, I think I have an idea. It's not solid in my brain yet, but that's okay. Those are nice descenders. Good job, Mike. Thanks, Mike. So I got my spacing way off, but I like that design. If you just imagine that these three lowercase letters were like right here, then they'd be nice and close to the E. I just gotta get the E a little bit closer. But I like that idea because we have the threading of the E there. This could be a little bit farther right. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, my hoarding is things like I just own a lot of like tools, and I have a drill press, and I have a vinyl cutter, and so I just have a lot of really useful things. The only thing I have that's really not useful is all of my shoes that I never wear, because I have quite a large, not large, but I have a big shoe collection for the amount of shoes that I actually wear, since I seem to only wear Chucks. Darn it, those descenders were not as good as the last ones. The E wasn't as good, and it's still too far away. So how do I fix that? If I don't want the E to be so far away... Let's try this one more time. Oh, I have a full, like one of these. I have a full banker box, um, full of. It's also paints, but full of paint and fountain pen ink. Well, and some calligraphy ink as well. But most of the calligraphy ink I use is right here in this tray. These are like this is the ongoing rotation of ink jars that I use all the time. These are like, yeah. This is the go-to inks. And then the storage inks is a full box. So there's a lot of those that I could probably get rid of as well. And paints. It's all the old paints from my shoe painting business that I still keep because who knows, somebody might ask me to paint a pair of shoes next week. Acrylic paint doesn't really go bad. Okay, last attempt with the word eggs. Still far away, but better. I like that better. Eggs. There we go. Oh, when you say music collection, like I don't have like vinyls or DVDs or CDs or anything like that really, but I have my digital. I'm also a digital hoarding, and a lot of my digital hoarding is not good or practical whatsoever. It's crazy unorganized. My digital hoard is scary. Like these, for example, these are each like this is I don't remember like 3 terabytes, 2 terabytes, 1 terabyte. Like these are all full, some of different things. There's another giant. This is a 8, I don't remember, terabyte drive that's also full backups, and then one little terabyte. There's so many, and it's all insanely unorganized, and it's depressing because I like to be organized, and it will take me like months of sitting there and actually organizing double files and things like that. It's crazy. I have tons of music. Most of it is videos, if I'm being completely honest, because I record so many videos here. And like when I shoot the slow motion footage, those are huge video files. Anytime you film things in 4K, huge video files. I just don't have very good file management right now. And then I've never really deleted a file since I started using computers, which is my whole life. I've been a computer nerd. I have every photo. I think there might be like one drive that I lost from one hard drive, from one laptop or something that crashed back in the day. But I have everything. They're just super unorganized. So I gotta, one day, my OCD needs to go through all that and fix it. I'm not OCD, but. All right, let's get another word going here. See, the keeping things online, I do some, but I'm not a fan of the like cloud storage. I like having it. I know that's old style mentality now, but I really like having my files. Morgoth. Wow. All right. We're going straight Silmarillion here. Okay. Organize. Cool. We're going to do Morgoth and then we'll do organize. Morgoth. Oh, see, this is a tough one with the M because I can't use a standard exit stroke for the M. I have to use the M that has like this M, or I have to use that M, sort of like the business penmanship M. Spark joy. Mary Kondo, shout out. All right, we'll use the circular one because that should be a little bit easier to get into. I guess I shouldn't be writing over top of my semi-decent infinity words because I should post those maybe tomorrow. Even though they're not all super great. So one thing that always happens with infinity words or names that have T's, I have to cross the T. I mean, I don't have to. I could come back and cross the T just like dotting I's, but it's cool if you can cross the T. Emails? It's a problem. I legit got an email from Google 2 days ago that said, your Google account is full. And that's not specifically because my email is super full. It's because the Google Cloud is saving all my pictures and stuff and I don't want it to, but turning that stuff off is annoying. But I have multiple email accounts and my like go-to one that I use the most is, it gets probably like 500 junk emails a day. It needs fixing. I got to address that as well. Basically, my digital life is a mess. Right now I'm moving, so my regular life is a mess too. But we're just ignoring that and pretending it's okay. Okay, crossing this M. And then getting from the M to the O. Oh, that could be cool. If I could somehow... That's maybe a little too risky, though. Getting into the O that way. How do I get into this M? It's such a weird... Like, it has to kind of go from a horizontal oval, which I don't like doing or angled ovals. How does that look without all the other stuff? That's okay. I guess. I need a new sheet of paper. You have 20, what, email? Oh, old emails? I have 2, and that's plenty. My penmanship one is under control, for the most part. It's starting to get a little haphazard at the moment, but my other one is chaos. Thousands upon thousands of unopened emails that are all just spam. And then emails to myself, giving myself links and sending pictures from my computer to my phone. I use email all the time, and it's just a problem. What was I writing? I totally forgot what we were doing. Morgoth, right. No, I don't like that way of getting into the O. Ooh, that's kind of neat. Does it work, though, in real life? Ian's watching. He still has to wear a hat? I don't have to wear a hat, Ian. My hair's just... Wait, see? I don't have to wear a hat. My hair is in decent length, decent okay. You don't like my hat, Ian? What up? I'm comfy in a hat. I just like wearing bowler hats. Somebody asked me... Who asked me on Instagram yesterday why my little Bitmoji character doesn't have a hat on? And there's no bowler hat option. They have like tons of different fedoras, cowboy hats, you name it, except bowler hats. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Morgoth. But I should. I mean, that's why on the Discord, I've always been perturbed that there's no emoji of a bowler hat. There's just the top hat is as close as you can get. So that's why on the Discord I created the bowler hat emoji. Because that's important. There should be one. It is the most, I'm pretty sure, potentially second to the cowboy hat, but I think more so than that. It is the most popular hat in history, according to history, because of bankers and businessmen. But now it's just all but extinct. Okay, how do we do this? That's a lot of planning. How far do I have to go? Oh, this one too, there's no stopping. Come on, Nib Snaps. Ah! I missed the connection. Darn it. Everything else was kind of going, I mean, before the snap, obviously, relatively decent. I've never been a fan, I mean, I can't say never. Before I wore bowler hats, I wore fedoras quite a lot. But I don't think they look good on my head. That could just be a weird thing that my eyes don't like. But I rarely put on fedoras that I feel like fit me really well. And I've tried on many. Bowler hats just kind of work. Although they're tough to come by as well. You think they're similar, but the crowns they're different. They look different in my brain. They should be similar. That's with bowler hats too, though. Some bowler hats fit horrid, and they just look really bad. I'll tell you what I like about this one that didn't happen in the past was where this connection is, how it fits inside of the M. The M is a little wonky shaped, but I'm trying to think. It's almost like this line should have stayed straighter longer and then went out like that, so that we don't have this. It's too close to that little oval. We'll try one more time. I mean, they're technically, size-wise, yeah, they're technically the same thing. I mean, a bowler hat is really, if you take a bowler hat and do that to it, and turn down the brim like this, like that's a fedora, basically. And then you just stretch it out on a hat block, and it makes a bowler hat. So, they are, I mean, it's just taking the shape out of a fedora makes a bowler hat. But because of the crowns, they're usually higher and slightly different. Okay, last time with Morgoth. We'll see if we can pull off something passable. Come on, hairline. Why'd you have to do that? My nib is acting funny. So I gotta go farther? Yeah, I gotta go like to here. That's better. Forgot what I was doing. Shoot. That one would have been pretty awesome if I didn't mess up the M. Because I forgot where I was going. This is not the way to train ornamental penmanship, ladies and gentlemen. This is playtime. Done by somebody who doesn't train the right way. That's actually a pretty neat design. I don't know if I'm in love with the way these ovals work quite yet. Technically, this could have gone a lot shorter and followed this almost perfectly parallel through here. That would have been cool. That wasn't part of the original design, but I think I like it better than the original design. Fancy Morgoth, you evil god. Alright, what did I say I was going to do next? Organize. Start with a standard O. It is a Z, right? Not organize. Yeah, tell you what, I have to take a quick bathroom break. Oh, I don't have intermission music. I should have given you guys some intermission music. You just have to listen to this song. I'll be right back in a couple seconds. Tell you what I'll do. Raise the music so you guys can vibe out. While I go to the back. I'll be right back. Bad pylon will keep the show going while I'm away. Thanks. Fat pylon. Holding it down. Okay. Turn the music back down to show level. Hopefully I didn't blow anybody's eardrums out. First, not in 11 weeks. I took one in one of the first ones because I was on a juice cleanse. So I had to take a bath. This is my second bathroom break during all the late night lives. This is number 2. I've been I was meaning to put on or to get an intermission playlist, but I haven't done it yet because I'm a slacker. Okay, let's stir our ink here or swirl our ink. My ink separates really quickly, so I don't want to shake it. So I'm just trying like swirling it, trying not to spill it every time. I don't know if you were here for that one. I can't remember. That was a long time ago now. That was pre-Blacklight events, I think. All right. Peace out, Fozzie. Thanks for hanging out. Bye, Ian, if you're still there. All right, organize. Let's see what we can do with organize here. If I can get... This can be entered with an entry oval or straight into it. I mean, we could use that same... I don't want to do that. We can really easily come off of the O into the R if we wanted to do that. Keep that nice and clean. I have the play, I just haven't watched it yet, sorry. Okay, organize. That kind of worked. I don't like the look of that ending flourish, though, with it like that. That's a little better. Drop it lower. That should work. In theory. Which play? I don't remember what it's called. She sent me a play to watch, or to listen, yeah, to watch. And I just haven't yet. Because there was one line, was there a quote or something from it? Or one scene that she was reminded of when we were chatting the other day, and she sent it to me, and I haven't watched it yet. Okay, organize. Organize is very loopy. It's not very organized. Oh, forgot where I was. Darn it. Really takes the wind out of your sails when you forget where you're going. Which is why you're not supposed to do designing flourishes this way. That's the idea, though. I think I might do that first one hairline. Well, then it might look like a C, though. Yeah, be careful with that. Maybe a double shade will look good. How fun would it be if we wrote the word organize and made it clean? That's no fun at all. If you're gonna write organize, it's gotta be all chaotic. Ugh, ugly descender there, but that's okay. Forgot what I was doing again. Ah! I like what I'm going for. I just don't like how it's turning out. I'm also very much not a fan of the fact that the O is the only or that there's a horizontal oval on this side and nothing else. I might like that a little bit more. Let me get a new sheet of paper and we will try it that way. Yeah, it's just when it starts with that angled oval, to me it throws off the look of the rest of the design. This is actually, sort of in hindsight, this is a pretty dope video just for, I guess, the design process. Because it's just raw. You're seeing me completely unplanned, just sort of designing these things from scratch. Normally, it wouldn't be done and trying it right off the bat like this, but it's kind of a good inside look into how things are put together. Okay. Now don't get lost this time. Where are we going here? Okay. No getting lost. We know where we are. We are using Penmanship GPS. I mean, that, I didn't hit the R, but I like that a lot. The only thing I think I would want to do so that I would like it even more is if that had a little shade, and then I'd be happy. That's the one. Organize. Yep. And then one issue I have here, it doesn't look like an issue because my hairline disappeared. But there is an issue, if you notice right here, going through that G, it comes through and it's crossing the G at kind of a really weird angle. So to fix that, I would probably try to plan to come up like this, to make that a little more rounded, which would make this probably be a little bit bigger going up there. I think that would cause a little bit less confusion over there. Yeah, we're gonna try one more time. Let the chaos gods hear your prayer. But that one's pretty flowy, which I like. That's one of those ones where you'll see me comment all the time when people make comments on like ornamental penmanship signatures and whatnot. I'll say this one comes out of the pen relatively easily, or it flows out of the pen nicely. That's what that means, when it just kind of happens. And it's not really because of physical ability. It's not like I did anything amazing to get it on the page. It just flows nice. The compound curves go into each other nicely. Obviously, when I do it with good form, it helps and makes it even better, but okay. I think we got her mapped out. That's the idea. That one's even still, we got, what did I do wrong that time? I brought the O a little bit too far to the left, but that's okay. The idea is there, and I like it. Get this unfortunate transition right there, but that's okay. We're gonna leave that one where it is for now. Wonder how F would work. Flow, low, low, low. All right. So for starters, we need an F that continues. Ooh. F's a tough one. F and T are difficult for this one. That looks like a P. Never mind. I wonder. Nope, that looks like Philo. That's Phil. So that doesn't work either. Can't be that creative. Mike, let's just write an F. How many of those was there? 3? Flow, low, low, low. Flow, low, low. One more. That's a lot of lows. 4 L's total. So really, the kicker is going to be getting into that F and out of it. Huh. I mean, I can always cross the F, no problem. We need this to be an undercurve going up into that L. Huh. I don't know what to do there. How to make that work? We want to cross over the F there. We might have to do that. Okay, too many scribbles. I need to... Lovecraft's character? I don't know what that is either. Okay. That is rough, but that can get us into our flow, low, low. Okay, now we just have to get into... the F. Which could be a compound or a entry oval, but more likely... Oh! I forgot about crossing the F. Shoot, I totally forgot about crossing the F. I'm making a really good L. Okay, how can I cross the F? We gotta take that out and go straight to that. And then get that. Okay. This could work. It's gonna be weird. This one's not gonna be very traditional, but it could work. Maybe. T'Challa. We could do T'Challa. Ah, it's a T. One's like the F. It's challenging. Okay, what do we gotta do here? Round. Compound curve. There's a lot going on. A lot to think about in this one. Okay. I think we got it. It's messy, but as far as the design, I mean, that kind of ends up looking like a weird H in there because of that L. I don't like where all that stuff crosses. But that could just be that my ovals were really bad in here. We can do this one. We can make it look better than that. What's with moving? I just moved a week back to another apartment. I'm talking to people move. There's a lot of people move a lot. I've moved way too much over the past like 6 years, unfortunately. I'm getting a little bit sick of moving every year. Some of it was by choice. A lot of it was not. Moving countries was not. But now that I'm not traveling, I'm home a lot more than I normally would be. My home in regular life, it doesn't really matter all that much where I'm at and what my home is like because I'm rarely here. I'm on the road like usually half the year at least. But now I'm just here and I don't know when I'll be able to not be here again. So I need a home that sort of fits a little bit better, I think. Unfortunately, sorry. At least my ascenders are coming out relatively nice today. That's helpful. Okay, we want to keep this not too tall. Go to there. Oh, what am I doing? I got lost again. Darn it. What's supposed to happen there? Shoot. I don't like that. Why is that so... That compound curve that doesn't feel good. Ruined all my nice ascenders with a whole bunch of scribbles. Can't seem to write this one the way I want. It's a little too weird. Getting to there is fine. Where do I go from here? Like, that's the idea. It's just way too empty down here. Wait, what if... Oh, crud, that doesn't work. Now I'm stubborn and determined. I'm also right. I mean, it's huge. The flourishes are gigantic because I gotta make it to that F. I could probably do it a different way, but I kind of am stubborn and want this one to work now. Oh, what did I decide? Shoot. I mean... I think it's a little too flowy and wavy, and that F doesn't look like an F. And I don't know how to make it look like an F. I don't know if the design... I mean, it's weird because it's like... It's floating between... I think it could be really, really cool, and I think it's a terrible design in my head, and I can't decide if I can make it work or if it's just not a good... not a working design. I don't know how to... We're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna try one more time. Just to clean it up a little bit. Flow, low, low. Low. Okay. I missed that last oval. Ruined the whole thing. Everything else I was pretty into. Darn it. This last oval just went total wonk city. Bummer. That's a tough one. I definitely like it more. I added a double loop there, and I like that a little bit more. Okay, I lied. We're gonna try one more time. How do you know there aren't hidden bowler hats or pylons in my work? Have I ever put hidden pylons in my work? A lot of times they're not hidden. A lot of times I just sneak them into my work. Like if I was a shirt designer or something, this shirt would have one traffic cone somewhere. But usually that doesn't work with like pattern making because then it has to repeat. It's like in my bad pylon patterns that I've done bow ties and stuff out of. I wanted there to just be one orange one, but it doesn't work. Because the pattern has to repeat. Unfortunately. How do we know you don't know? There could be secret hidden stuff all over the place. In blacklight, because I do write things in blacklight. If you get letters from me, there's a good chance, or there's a chance, depending on my mood when I wrote it, that there's going to be some blacklight doodles in there. Sometimes I just forget, though. I mean, most of my jackets and stuff have lapel pins with bad pylon. I actually have a lot of pins on most of my jackets and sweaters and things. I need to get some nice enamel ones, though. I just have the round ones now. I want to get some nice enamel pins made for the pylon. One day. Once I start making money again. That's better. I think that's as close as we're gonna get, folks. I lost my hairline over here, my little... That was just too big. But, that works. Close enough. It's not... I don't know that I would consider it, the quality that I would want. But it exists. Alright, let's do, I think one more, and then I'm going to cut it off for the evening. I think it's been a pretty good session. My back is actually getting a little tired today. Ancalagon. Ooh, you can make enamel pins. That's cool. We will talk about that. Okay, Ancalagon. What the heck is an Ancalagon? Ancalagon. Ancalagon. All right. Hair, fiber in my nib, fiber in my nib. N. That would be sweet. Yeah, we'll talk. Okay, Ancalagon. This one looks like it should be relatively not too crazy difficult. Maybe. Those might be famous last words. Go to that standby diagonal compound curve that goes across the entire thing. Whoops! I forgot that that's supposed to go to an N. I mean, that looks way too simple. But maybe simple's nice. Khaleesi. That'd be a cool one. K. How to do a K in an infinity letter? That's a challenge all on its own. Toothless. He's a pretty cool dragon. Everybody's being challenging today. That's alright. I kind of asked for it. Nobody wants, oh yeah, my name's Jen, or James, or Steve. No, people want Ancalagon, and Pizzy Pizza, and Flo Lo Lo Lo. I kind of like how that's just clean and simple. This oval's a little wonky in here. Not a huge fan of that sort of shape, but I like that it's just kind of simple. I'm gonna try this. I don't know if I'm gonna do all of Khaleesi, but I want to see about a K. How could I do? I've done it before because somebody we did a connected challenge, and I remember doing a K. I might have to go through my Instagram and find it, but that would take me a long time because I have done a K, but I could also do it in 2 different strokes. How? I don't know. We could have the first one. How? Yeah, but if that... Then another stroke can come over there. Ooh, and Khaleesi is K-A, which is... A comes super nicely off of a K, like that. How do I spell Khaleesi? Oh, it's an H, it's not an A. Damn it! No! Spelling! Ah! Oh, it would be so easy if... Not easy, but it would be so much easier if it was K-A. Darn it. K-H-A-L. What is it? E-E-S-I. Darn it! Stupid H. I think Game of Thrones spelled it wrong. Oh, that's infuriating. Because the H does not come naturally off the end of a K. Darn it! Okay, we can do this though. Still possible, somehow. Oh, what if the whole thing starts with this stroke? Oh, but then I have to finish up there. That doesn't work. Darn it. Hmm. Hmm. Misha. Oof. Are you guys literally just looking up words that are difficult to make in infinity? I feel like you guys are just trying to make me lose my mind today. Oh, that would be... Okay, I wasn't reading earlier. That would be my my dragon name. Okay. Did I figure this out? I might have figured this out. Maybe. There's a whole lot of scribbles up there. So far, so good. Did I spell it wrong? Oh. That's okay. This part doesn't matter. We can pretend I spelled it right. Those are two E's, and that's an S, and that's an I. It doesn't matter. That doesn't change the design at all. I don't care about. Obviously, my brain's like blah blah blah, lowercase letters. We don't care. Whoops. Wow, I spelled it like super wrong. Whoopsies. I mean, that worked. That wasn't exactly what the plan was, but that's connected. I'm glad you guys are amused. Blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's kind of how I feel about lowercase most of the time, if I'm being 100% honest, which is why I'm actually working on business penmanship. Because, lowercase, this, I try to get all the other stuff. My lowercase are good enough, but they could be better. But that, like, that legitimately turned out a lot better than I was expecting. And I kind of like the little loop. I don't like that it touches there, but I like the little loop. But that tells me that this loop could be bigger going up there. But that kind of worked. Now I'm going to try again, and I'm going to try to spell Khaleesi correct this time. So funny. I'm tearing up a little. My eyes are watering because of I was laughing because of that stupid spelling mistake. I can't spell. Period. Let me get a new sheet of paper actually. Keep this one for reference. The finishing one, I mean, it turned out really nice. K ended up being a lot easier, not easy, but a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. Ugh. Let's at least start with a nice ascender. Okay. Khaleesi, and that'll be a dotted I. Did I spell it right? Yes. Okay. So far, so good. I dropped that a little lower than I should have, but that's okay. I'm just gonna be happy with that tonight. That's as good as she's gonna get. Maybe. I should be able to get that cage, just not very clean. I needed to get it flowy like that. I lose the flow. Maybe it's because I'm stopping to think in the middle. No stopping and thinking. No thinking, just do it. Oh, I'm getting really far to the left. Whoopsies. They're all kind of turning out the same. I'm not super happy with that left side, but I like the design. We're gonna call that, that one's good. We're gonna be happy with that. You know what? No, I lied one more time. Because I'm stressed out and I want it to be really good. Okay. That's better. Still not perfect, but I like that flowiness a lot better, bringing that compound curve way up high. That looks much better. In my opinion. Are the ovals not coming correctly on the left? They're how I designed it. I just don't like how the design ends up looking on that side. It doesn't look like I would want it to. The only real big issue with this one, there's a couple things. Like this, it did come up here nice. It should be a little, ideally maybe longer here, and then go up a little harder, and then cross over and down. And then this didn't need to go quite so high, and the angle of the K is a little bit off the slant. I made it a little too vertical, but that's all picky stuff that can be fixed with drilling and all that kind of stuff. I do like that pretty much every Khaleesi that we did, I hit the K into the H almost perfectly every single time, which makes me quite happy. Yeah. So there we go. And that's one more signature than I was thinking I was going to do. So that's Infinity Names. I'm going to wrap this live up with that. I know we're like 2 minutes from midnight, so I got to cut it off before we hit midnight, because if we hit midnight, then I have to write longer. Don't have to, but I'm about done. My back is a little tired, not from this, but just from moving boxes and all that kind of stuff all day. Yep, just shy of glow time. Sorry, you guys. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today, everybody. This has been a blast. Like I said, I've been wanting to do Infinity Names more for a long time, and now this has sparked something. I'm gonna post these ones, and then I want to try to perfect or make better all of the ones that I did today. And then some other ones. I want to start doing more Infinity Names because nobody does them, to my knowledge. I feel like I'm one of the only ones. There's a lot of more Infinity letters and stuff out there, but Infinity Names are kind of unique, and I really like doing them. And they're an extremely, as you've noticed, difficult challenge. So they are a design challenge. They really make me think and go through that process, which is healthy. It's good for my brain to keep active, since I'm not doing as many blotters and all that kind of stuff these days. You can always put in orders for blotters, then I can do those. But no, these are different designed. But yeah, thank you very much for hanging out with me today, everybody. That's gonna wrap up this live. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. Let me know. Send me some comments of other words, names, cool things. Leave them in the comments below if you want them to be written in Infinity, and maybe I'll get to it. Maybe we'll do another week, maybe next week, of Infinity names, because they're fun to do. I really enjoy them. How do I... Michelle, somebody has to send me like an audio file of how to properly say my dragon name, because I don't want to butcher it. But yeah, don't forget, everybody, keep falling in love with the process, and I will see you later. Alright, going over here, clicking the end stream button, and we are finished.